Hello, everyone. So glad you people joined in. So, first of all, before starting the session, I would like to thank Rajinder Pal Singh, who is the Google DSC student lead of our campus GNDU, and he has helped us a lot. He has collaborated this event with us. So, I would like to express my great thanks to him. We'll soon be starting. And let me tell you, this is going to be an interactive session based on the basics of APIs, and we'll get to know Postman and APIs, and also we'll try some things out. We'll go for a workshop in this session. So, are you people excited? I would like to express a great thanks to Ali sir and Anchal Mishra for giving this opportunity. Also, Japsimran, my co-speaker in this event, he's also gonna be addressing you, and he's gonna teach you the workshop part. So I hope you people enjoy this event a lot. In the meantime, you can go to the chat section and show your excitement. Like, you can give your names, you can give the college that you belong to or the year in which you're studying currently, so that we can just assess the kind of audience we have in this event today. Oh, great. I can read the chats out here. People are really excited. Great.
So, hi everyone. We'll start in just a while. Let everyone join and we'll share the screen in just a minute. So, Harshita, may I share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So I can see a lot of people joining in. Really glad. Such an overwhelming response. Yeah. So, Japsimran, are we good to go? Shall we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to start now. So, hello everyone. This is an interactive session on the basics of APIs. I'll take you into the details of basics of APIs and Postman, and then Japsimran will take over and he will be taking you through the workshop part. And for that reason, I recommend you have a laptop handy prior to the event so that you can walk along with us. And the main aim of this event, why we have gathered today, is to spread API literacy on our campus and even around the world, so that many more people can explore APIs and use them in an efficient way. So also, this event is for pure basic people who don't have any idea about APIs. So don't get intimidated. We are going to be teaching you from scratch. Okay, so there's no prerequisite knowledge required. Now, a small introduction about me and Japsimran. So, hi there, this is Harshita Kohli. I am a Postman student expert and I am a contributor at Girls Script Winter of Code 2021. I am also a member of Women Who Code Bangalore and currently pursuing my BTech degree at Guru Nanak Dev University. If you people would like to connect with me, I have shared my LinkedIn profile here, as well as I will also share this in the chat section, so you can go ahead and connect with me. Over to you, Japsimran.
Hi everyone, my name is Japsimran Singh. I am a computer science student and a Postman student expert, also Google Developer Student Club mobile development lead for our campus, GNDU. And in this event, Harshita and I both are the host, and we will take care that you learn everything about API. If not everything, then the basics. If someone asks you what is
Exactly.
an API, you should be like you should tell him that this tell him or her that this is API. So do not fear, we'll take care of all the technical stuff here. And Harshita
Exactly.
will take care of the theoretical part. And after that, we'll have a big hands on session to tell you how to actually use those APIs. And now, Harshita, let's start with the theoretical part. What
Yeah.
do you say?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. It was a cool introduction session. Now let's go to the agenda part. Just let's walk through the basic agenda that we are going to follow today. Yeah. So, first of all, we are going to start with an introduction to APIs and Postman. I will also tell you about requests and responses in Postman. Then Japsimran will take over and he will help you in the workshop part. He will help you in trying things out. Then we'll both will share some resources, some follow-up resources which you can refer to further your learning in APIs even after this event. And then we'll also share some great ways you can earn Postman swags. So be there with us throughout the event. And at last we will have a Q&A round in which we'll get all your doubts cleared. I hope the agenda is clear and we can move further with the event. Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay. So the very first question that we should have in our minds regarding this session is, we've joined it, but we don't know what is an API. So don't worry, we are here to help you. An API is an application programming interface that allows services to communicate with each other. Now, what do I mean by that? Sometimes we need to get data from a service like Google or Facebook. Since we don't have access to these companies' code bases, it becomes difficult to use these services. But no, there's a solution to it. These companies have created APIs so that developers like us can get information from their services without even accessing their code bases. Sounds cool, right? So both developers and non-developers can use these APIs to get the data from popular services like Twitter, Google, Facebook, etc. And we can use these services in our projects and make our projects sound really cool. We can use such services like a weather API, like Spotify API in our projects. The wonderful thing about how development is working in these days is that we don't have to build everything from scratch. Okay, we can use these services from these companies and we can integrate them in our projects, because we so many softwares and so many companies are using APIs such an extensive rate. These APIs are not going anywhere anytime soon. So this is the reason why we've gathered here, and we want to educate as many people as possible on how to use APIs and how to make them integrate in the projects. So I hope the basic idea about APIs is clear. Now we'll dive into some real life illustrations to help you get a better idea about APIs. Yeah. So first of all, it's a digital restaurant. I know all the foodies out there will be like, wow, we are gonna love this example. Okay. So just imagine that you are visiting your favorite restaurant and you want to order something like your favorite dish, maybe it's biryani. Okay. So you tell the waiter that I want a plate of biryani. The waiter takes your message to the kitchen and tells the chef that there is an order for one plate of biryani. Now the waiter will come back with your food, or maybe he will come back and say, "Sorry, sir, whatever you've ordered, that is not available in our kitchen." Regardless of what message he brings, the waiter is acting as a mediator in this case between you and the kitchen, right? Because you can't have direct access to the kitchen. So this is what actually APIs do. These APIs, they act as intermediate or as mediators between the client and the server. So client makes a request and the APIs take that request to the server, they fetch that data and they bring that back to the client. So that is as simple as that. And I hope I made the concept a bit more clear with this real life illustration. Now before moving to the next part, I would like to ask you a question. It's a question time. Okay. So in the chat box, just answer me what is your favorite social media platform? Because I hope who all has joined, everyone is active on one or the other social media platform. So I just want to know what is your favorite social media platform, like LinkedIn or Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, anything. I'm waiting for your responses. Oh, I get one response from Nimish. He says Instagram. Okay. And Hari Krishna says Instagram. LinkedIn. Okay. Ravnoor says LinkedIn. Great. So yeah, there's a war between Instagram and LinkedIn. I can see from the chat. Okay, Snapchat as well. Panisha says Instagram. Great, great. Okay, so you might be also posting a lot of pictures, a lot of short videos about yourself on this, on whatever your social media platform you like. Have you ever thought what is the story behind the cover? How actually these pictures get, posted on these social media platforms? Well, that is what I'm going to explain you in the very next slide. So next, yeah. So let's take a very simple example of Instagram. While using Instagram, you are clicking a picture. In that case, first of all, you take a photo. The social media network, that networking site on your mobile phone, is actually using the smartphone's camera via what? It is using an API. Okay. Then through its API, it can use some image library. Maybe that image library is embedded in the app itself, and that image library is helping in filtering, in applying some filters to your picture or applying some color filters, some color effects, right? Once this is done, the photo is all ready to be posted. Another API comes into picture, which is the remote API. So again, now the app is going to use the remote API and it is going to host your picture on the social network server. So overall, in this scenario, we used three APIs. The first one was a local API, which was a hardware related. It was used in accessing the camera. The second one was a library, and the third one was a remote API. So did you know APIs play such an important role in all this procedure? I hope you got to know something new today. You can go to next slide. Okay. So now you might be asking that, okay, Harshita, you've told us a lot about APIs and how we can use these services in our projects. But what all APIs are there at our disposal? Like, can we have APIs for everything? Yes, exactly. You can have APIs for everything. You can have API for Google, for Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, everything. The list is unending. And you can use these services in your projects, making them really stand out. So I think this sounds really cool to you. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so we've talked a lot about APIs till now. Now let's talk about Postman. What actually is Postman? So Postman is a collaborative API development platform that allows users to create, test, run APIs in a very, very efficient way. And it provides an amazing user interface. You won't believe me, but yeah, when we jump into the hands-on part, you will say that that's true. So Postman is an industry standard tool, and because of this reason, you will run across it into your workplace. Whenever you get your jobs or whenever you get placed, you are surely going to use Postman in an extensive rate. So if you're confused about how to use it, don't worry. We are going to use Postman today, and we're going to make API requests. So you'll see all that, how to make all that requests. Okay. Now, because Postman has such amazing features around APIs, It has become an industry standard tool and is being used by top companies. As you can see, 98% of Fortune 500 companies are using it, and 65% of global companies, global organizations are using it, like Atlassian, PayPal, Philips, etc. So that is the reason I urge you that you should have the basic idea about Postman and your usage of APIs. Next slide. Next, please. Okay. So now you might be confused by these two pictures. Let me clear up what I want to say in this slide. The question actually arises that why did Postman came into existence? What was wrong before Postman? Actually, before Postman came into existence, API requests were written and used in curl command, as you can see on the left side of your slide. Okay, they were written in curl command line, and it was really tough to use and very tough to understand, especially for beginners. But on the right side, you can see when Postman came, it provides such a better UI, such a better user experience, and it believe me, it does everything that curl command line did, and also adds some new features like collaboration, visualizations, sharing requests and responses. So you can collaborate over the same project, you can work collaboratively. It provides a great quantity of features. So, next. Okay, so now we've talked about what is an API and the basic about Postman. Now let's go into details and talk about requesting and receiving data with such one API. Okay, next. Yeah. So here in this diagram, it's incomplete as of now, but yeah, there are three main entities that you can see. We have a client, we have a server, and we have an API, and all of them are connected over a network. Now, before I go on explaining this diagram, I'll make sure that you people know what is a client and what is a server. So let me tell you, client is an entity that will make a request to a server. Some example of a client can be Google server, Google Chrome, which is a web browser. Okay. Then what is a server? A server is an entity that will control all the resources and services. Now, my question to you is, I think now you will be capable enough to answer to this question. My question is, what is the role of API between the client and the server? Just give me any, answer in layman language. Doesn't have to be technical. Just give me any answer, like whatever idea till now you have about API. What is it actually playing? What role is it playing between client and server? I'm waiting for your responses. Yeah. Great. It is used for communication and interaction. Actually, you got the point, which is used to retrieve the information. Yes. Okay. To communicate with data, sharing of information, which is used to retrieve. Not just retrieve information. We can also use it to give some more information. Like we want to add something more to the database at the server. We can also do that. Okay. Yes, exactly. That is the keyword, Momita. It acts as a mediator. It acts as an intermediate. Exactly. You people got my point. Actually, I'm really happy that I could explain you in a good way. So yeah, that is what I wanted to tell. That in this request response pattern, API is gonna act as a mediator between the client and the server. Okay, so it is an interface that exposes all the resources and services that are available in the server to the client. Now, obviously, the client has only one means to interact with the server, that is the API. The client makes a request to API, the API will then evaluate the request. Now, this word is new to you, right? Evaluation of request. Actually, what I mean to say by this is that the API will evaluate the request, right? So that means it will know what kind of request it is. Is it just for retrieval of data, or is it to delete something from the server, or is it just to modify a small thing on the server? So there are different kinds of requests, and the API will evaluate that request. then it might interact with the database or maybe other APIs, and then it will send back a response to the client that yeah, your request has been fulfilled, or no, your request was unsuccessful. Okay, so what role Postman is playing here is that Postman is playing as a client that will allow you to make requests and also to view responses from the servers, right? So Postman is acting as a client, and it will help you in reviewing responses in a very good way. Next. Yeah, okay. So let's dive into the requests. I'm just going to, if you were to cook requests, there would be three ingredients in it. The first one would be method, the second one would be address or endpoint URL, and the third part will be the path. So these three elements are required to make a request, because requests are the only way we can communicate with the server, like a client can communicate with the server. Now, don't worry if these terms sound intimidating. I'll cover them in detail in the next slide. Next, please. Okay, so you can see here that we have a skeletal thing. On the left side, we have get. On the middle part, we have a URL. On the right part, we have a send button, right? This is how it will look on the Postman website. Now, the leftmost part here is telling you get, which is a method. As I told you, the first ingredient of a request is a method. So here, by default in Postman, we have the get method. But if you click on the drop down arrow, you will see the whole list of the methods. But in this session, we will just be talking about the five methods, which are get, post, put, patch, and delete. Okay. So you can see get is used for retrieving information, as is very obvious from the name. Post is there to send information. If you want to send information to the server, we can use the post method. Then put and patch are used for updation of the information, and delete is used simply to delete the information from the server. API. Now, let's jump into a difference between put and patch, because you might be wondering why are there two methods that are doing the same work? That is, they are just updating the information. No, actually, there's a difference between them, and be all ears to this, because actually this is a very important interview question that you might frequently be asked, that what is the difference between put and patch. So let me clarify that. Patch is used for updating partial data of a record. Okay, just partial data of a record. For example, you just want to change the address of a student in the whole record of the student, then you will just use patch method, and that will be done. While put is used to completely overwrite the existing record for existing data for a record. So that was a basic difference. If you want to know into detail, just refer to the more resources, and you can get the extreme details of the differences. And this will help you a lot if you are ever questioned about the difference between put and patch. Now, this was the first ingredient of the recipe of the requests. Now let's jump to the second ingredient, which is gonna be the endpoint, which is there if displayed on the screen. Yeah, exactly. So you can see www.com is the endpoint. It is actually the address of the server. For example, I am going to make a get request with this URL www.google.com. Then my request will land on the page of Google. Okay, so this is kind of address of the server. Then I'm also specifying, if you can see, there is a last part of the URL contains /search. Actually, that is the third ingredient, which is the path. Okay, you can click next to show these. Yeah, again, click next. So you can see the rightmost part is the search option, is the search, which is the path. So actually, what is path? The third ingredient. The third ingredient is actually where your request is going to be heard. Now you might be thinking, oh God, so much of information in so less time. Let me explain. Okay. Now this whole URL along with the get request is going to help you get only the search page. Okay. If you don't want to get the Google page, like all the utilities of Google, you just want to get the search page, then you can use the specific path /search, and you will get the Google search page. That's it. You will get that information. And if in case you want to delete something, you just change the method. Okay. So this is how I could explain this. Yeah. Okay, so now when you make a call, when you make an API call with a get method, it will usually retrieve everything from the URL address. Just as I showed you, if I had just made a get call with www.google.com, I would get everything that will be available on that URL address. But this can be pretty overwhelming. Suppose you just want your college name from the entire LinkedIn profile, and you get the entire LinkedIn profile. You will be overwhelmed that no, I just want that specific detail. For that, we have an option. We can use parameters, okay? Because parameters filter out the responses so that you can get something specific out of the entire range, okay? The next part that is available is authorization. Now, since this is a 101 session, we won't go over the entire detail of authorization, but yeah, I will give you an overview. In general, authorization lets the API know what kind of permission the client, as in me, who is making a request, what kind of permission I have. Like, as a student, I can't have permission to access the payroll scheme of my teachers, right? So I will not be an authorized person for that. This typically starts out like authorization typically starts out with verifying the developer or the user. I will be verified that whether I have the correct access or not. One of the most common types of authorizations that you will see is an API key, or maybe some client secret keys or client IDs, right? So this was all about the basic of authorization. Now we go to headers. So headers are metadata for the request. Actually, to be in simple plain language, I will tell you that headers are used to send some sensitive data, some sensitive information like passwords or access tokens, because we don't want these sensitive details to be shown in the URL. Whereas what we originally discussed in the case of parameters, whatever we send in parameter will show up in the URL. So we are not fools that we would like to share our personal passwords in the URL, that everyone who has that URL will get the access. So we will use headers in that case, okay? Otherwise anyone with the URL will have the access to that sensitive information. I hope these 3 points are clear. Next. Okay, so requests. We have covered the part of requests and header and the authorization. Now we'll come to body. Finally, the body is actually what I like to call as the gold mine. Why? Because the body has all the data in it. Okay, and the data is no less than gold. So this is mainly body is mainly used for post and put methods, where you need to specify the data which you need to send with the request, because you will see this in the workshop part. Typically you might send some JSON data object, a JSON object in the body, but you can have other options as well. Next. Okay. So we went over how to set up API requests and send them via Postman. But when you send an API call, you will also receive a response, obviously, right? So we must know what kind of responses we can get. We can get a status code, we can get headers. The headers might be some passwords or some access tokens, and we might also get body as a response. Now we will get a brief idea about status codes, okay? Like status codes. Now again, I want to question you. I just have a great fun questioning my audience, so just to test whether they are attentive or not. So my question is, you might have encountered the 404 error, 404 error. Could you tell me what it actually means, or when does it occur? It's a quite a usual error that you might see. So can you give me the answers in the chat, like what uh, why does this error occur? If you have any idea, be very quick. Great.
Let's
Page
see.
not found.
Let's see who answers this correctly.
Exactly. I just want to see if people are aware about this or not.
Okay, page not found is the error. Can you tell me the code, the status code for this error?
Huh.
Let's see who does this fast.
Okay. The request you put is not on the server. Devang answered. Yeah. That is
Yeah, it's
also
fine,
fine.
but
Okay.
can someone tell us what is the status code? It's like a
Huh.
numerical code, 3 letter.
Four. Okay. 404. Yeah. Obviously. And okay. When content is moved. Nemish, when content is moved, that is not 404. It is 301 or 302, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
A
it's
404
301 or
error
3.
indicate Yeah, a 404 error indicates that the web page you are trying to reach can't be found. Yeah, Cheshta, you are also correct. Muskan, you're correct. Obviously. So I have got an idea that you people are aware about the status code. It's very usual, right? So 404 is for not found. 200 is for successful. Like if your request was successful, then it displays that okay, 200 okay. 201 for something that you've created. So it will display. Next. Okay. So now I have prepared a list of all the response codes, status codes for you. Now this list can be overwhelming for you, I believe. Okay, but you can have a rough idea from the first digit of the response code. Like if it starts from 2, that means your request was a success. Okay, if it starts with 3, that means the URL you are being redirected to a new URL. Okay, and if it starts for 4, that means you as a client have made some mistake, there's an error from your side. And if it starts with 5, that means that there's no error from your side, it's the error of the server. So now you might be asking whether we have to memorize this. See, you must be aware about all these response codes, but Postman here helps you not to memorize all these, because what you can do is whenever you send a request, you get the response. You can hover over that 200 OK. They will be mentioned in the bottom part, in the response part, 200 OK. When you hover over it, you will see the entire detail about what the status code means. So this is another advantage of using Postman. Now, I think you all are super ready to jump into the workshop part, and I am more than happy to end this theoretical part here. And over to you, Japsimran.
So we just saw like the request Nimish commented when content is moved. So content is moved is 301 or 302.
Yeah.
301 means it's permanently moved. Like message for the search engine, you can rank the new page, and 302 is like temporary move. But for the user, it's more or less the same. So the user will just see redirection, and hence rest everyone had like very good answer like 404
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
they knew. So
It was
kudos to you
great.
all.
Great
So from
response.
now, let's start the practical session. So this is the link, and also I'll share this link in the description. And if we see here, so we'll see this page. So everyone give me a thumbs up if they have reached this page. So those who have not made an account, I'll show them how. So I'll sign out and just choose an account. If you haven't made an account, there is an option for Google sign up. Yeah, you can do one click and you'll be signed in as Google, with authenticated with the Google.
Japsimran, could you zoom in a bit so that people can have more clarity about all the steps that you are doing?
Sure, sure.
Huh. Great.
Okay, so let's go back to our. So this is a workspace made by like these members, 7 members. So we can check. One of them is Ali Mustafa sir. Very thank you to Ali Mustafa sir. And these are the subparts, like you can say folders. So today we'll be going with basics of API. So give me a second. I'll go in my workspace again. We'll fork this so that you can get a copy. So you don't want that in the public. This is a public workspace. So do you don't want that everyone is seeing what you're doing, and you don't want to mess with this. So we'll go here and create a fork. You can see option create a fork. So those who use GitHub, they'll already know
Yeah.
what a fork is. So create a fork, and one important thing, choose my workspace here. Like I have like more than one workspace because I usually mess around with Postman, but choose my workspace. So I'll label today's date, like it's 18th September. Okay, so you can watch this. Like if there is a change you want to be notified, I'll zoom it a bit. So you can watch this or you can leave it. It's totally up to you. So now we got this hook. Okay, on the right side you can see this is the documentation. So this is a API workspace and someone has made this program. Like in this case, Postman has made this, but how would you know? Like how would you know what is happening and how to use that API? What else you can do with this API? So we have the documentation. The owner or the creator of the API always have this, because without this you can't go ahead. So this is the documentation on the right side. So uh, also you can click here and click on view documentation, so you will see the whole documentation in a beautiful way. That is what Postman was made for, to uh, if you want to see your like API request in a beautiful way. And also Postman gives you wonderful features. I'll show you just in a minute. So if we go on our first, okay, so before starting from the documentation, let me give you overview of the Postman. So here just Harshita told us we will discuss around four methods: get, post, put, and delete. We will test these four methods in this work hands-on session. So we have a number of methods. There are like more than 10 methods available, but now we'll go on get method. So those who are like going along with me, if you have any problem or if you want to want me to slow down, you can just text me in the comment section. So first of all, we'll go google.com. We'll make a get request. Let's see what we get. Okay, so this is the response we got. It's an HTML response. Okay, this is the raw, and this is like just pretty view. And if we preview this, this is what we would have seen if it was just a request, normal request. Okay, I'll show you. If I do google.com, this is the same page, you'll see. So to make a Google search, like if I search Postman here, so we'll see this long thing. I'll zoom it a little bit. Okay, no, doesn't make any difference. Okay, so we'll see search, and then Q is equal to Postman, and then along query param. We'll remove that. Okay, so our API endpoint, the path here is search. Like I'll paste it. Okay, you can see on the screen. This is our actually. So google.com is the domain here, and the search keyword is actually the path for the specific resource, and Q is the query param, the param which Harshita told you. And also don't forget this, like the hands-on session will tell you how you can win swags. So the for the swags there will be kind of similar work to do. And okay, here we go. We'll see search, and let's check it now without any query param. Okay, nothing. And if we go, so here we have, okay, at the point I you can see I add the question mark to get this checkbox here. So it is highlighted. We can type here Q and the value. Like query params are like key value pairs. So here I'll search Postman. So here's we got a 200 response. Those who tend to forget what is 200, 300, 400, you can directly come at this point and read for that particular instance. Suppose you are doing your work and you forgot what is 403 and 401. So no problems. The response will have the documentation here. So this is what we just saw in our Google search. The same thing, and other types of in the same place. That's why Postman is a wonderful thing. So from now we'll start with the documentation. So this is the documentation. So we have options here. Let me zoom it a little bit. Okay. So they can go with either of the three, like jokes, quotes, or book. So anyone, please comment in the comment section which one do you want to see now. So the most response we get for jokes, quotes, or books, we'll choose that. Uh, I'll wait one for one more minute. Joke. Okay, okay. Nimis told joke. We'll go with joke. So for jokes, we'll start reading out the documentation. So here's the first part. Also, you can jump to a section. So get. So we have the first to get a random joke. In this case, we used google.com. Now we won't use this. We'll just go to this link. We'll copy this link and we'll enter it. So remember, I haven't added the joke path here. It is the root domain. So I'll add joke here. So we got this response. Okay. So we can see we got a joke of ID 0. Also, there is a one more way. Everyone, okay, it's not joke, it's joke. Okay. So this is the, if you want to view this thing, you can also do that. From now, we'll move for the next part. So we have got this response. This was a basic get response, but I told you we'll do four: get, post, put, and delete. So let's make one new. So I'll go on this basics of API and add one more: add request. So let's name it add data. So we got this here, and now the same URL, jokes, but our method will change. It will be post because we want to give data. And here, okay, this is the data, and we'll go to add data. Make sure you press Control S to save this, and in the body, because we have to send the data, and we have to send this data in the body. So I'll go raw, paste this. Okay, it's visible now, and I'll send, but we'll get an error because this data is JSON and we haven't specified that. I'll send again. Then also we are getting an error because it was wrong. And now I want this to be 35. So ID is 35. Let's send it again. We must not receive this. Okay. So we have 201. The request has been fulfilled and resulted in a new resource being created. If we want to see, so we got this. Okay. So now it's the third request. We want to change this. Suppose I want to change this. Okay. So now I want to do bugs are my new features. So, but here, okay, let's make a new. Let's make it new. Uh, New request. Okay. We'll name it new. Okay. Update data. Same URL. Uh, let's go to update. URL same, put request, and let's look for the documentation again. Whenever you forget something, go for the documentation. Nimish is saying, any doubt? So Nimish, you can just comment below. We have moderators here. Manas will be taking care of your any doubts, or if and at the end of the session, we will be also taking your questions, any questions regarding this event, be it like for the swags or any practical part or theory part of the event. So we have this post for put to update an existing joke. Okay, it's similar to post request. The entire object you're trying to update in the body. Leave the ID as it is, but make changes where you want. So I'll add this is the body. So it was 35 body and raw, and we'll go with JSON 35. Bugs are my new features. I think it was 34 or 35. Let's check. Okay, it was 35 only. We got 204. That means the request was successful. 200 means it is successful. The server successfully processed the request but is not returning a response. So, so it is changed. Now we want to check this. We'll go back to get. So that's why I created three folders that I don't have to change again and again. Now, what if I want to get a specific joke? For that, what I will do, I'll add a path here, like doing this. So after I clicked, like I added this, so it gave me a path variable. Like, I told you, Postman is wonderful. That is right. Okay,
No
so
doubt.
I want 35. I want 35. Like I updated a joke. I want to see what has happened. Is it updated or no? Or okay. So I'll send this. Get. So bugs are my new feature. It is updated. So you are now getting to know Postman more, and you will love it. When you'll use it, Postman, you'll love it. Uh, Now we were on update data. We updated. Now only the last part is left. That is delete. So to let's create one more. Okay, add request. Uh, Add request, and we'll go and add a delete one. So let's go back to documentation. Assume that if you forget something, go back to documentation. Documentation is the only way to do wonderful things. So to delete a joke, we need an ID of joke to be passed in our address. For example, we can pass joke 3, and no body data is needed to be sent. So we are back again to delete. Same URL. Let's copy the URL first. Delete, and joke. And now we wanted an ID. Okay, I can add ID here. It was 35, and let's send this. Joke with ID 35 is deleted. We got an 200 OK response. That means everyone, everything is fine, and the joke is deleted. We can check it. So bugs are features. We change it to bugs are new features. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Also, let's try this one more time. Now I'll share those who are doing it live. I want to share this URL in the chat section. So if you want to create some jokes, create them, and let's give some time to everyone so that they can add their jokes and share their programming jokes with everyone. Okay.
I think there's some technical issue. Just wait a second. I think he's sharing the screen, right?
Waiting for
Japsimran,
them
you're not
to send.
audible. Huh? Yeah. Go
It's
ahead.
not a technical issue. I wanted everyone who is going with us on this works on like hands-on session. They must send
Yeah,
us
yeah.
the jokes. So let's wait
Oh,
for
great.
2 to 3
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
minutes.
Wait, wait. Let's have some interesting jokes in the chat.
If you want to share a joke, send them in a chat. Anyone, yes, anyone, send any joke in the chat.
Japsimran, you're not audible. Please unmute your mic.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
It
Okay, so
happens.
Manas has given us a joke. We'll add it. We
Japsimran,
added
you're not
our
audible.
uh, we added our data using raw method. But now we'll do something else. Okay, so every time you won't have raw data, but in this case, Ali sir had made this wonderful workspace so that we can work easily. But in many times you'll use form data. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, author, joke, and source. We'll go to form data, author, joke, and source. For the author, like ID, let's add it 99, and author, Manas, and joke. Let's add the joke. Okay. So source is, let's add brain for now. Okay, let's add this. Okay, 201 created. So now let's check if it is here. Yeah, we got this response. Uh, okay, I forgot to share my screen.
Oh,
I forgot to share my screen. Okay, okay, we'll do that again. So last time we did with raw. Okay, raw data, and now added with form data. I entered each and every item here, and then I sent a post request and got 201 response. So we got more jokes. We have technology with all
You've
which
got such
always
interesting
people
jokes.
see. It isn't easy being a programmer. The code all day,
They
debug all
quote.
night. Like
It's more of a fact than a joke, but I
okay,
found
okay.
this one.
Let add this also. Okay, so we have a new joke. Like ID is 119. Like anything. Our author here is Harshita, and okay. So let's send this. So we got 201 response. That means this joke is created. Now we can also check that. Just wait for we got this. So now everyone has understood how APIs have are used in day-to-day life, and if you think you could like do things without APIs, so you might be a little wrong here because you are using API unknowingly. Like APIs are like the wonderful way of communication between two programs. So literally, if you are missing on API, you are missing a lot chunk of things. So now let's delete this. Do okay. So we had an ID of 119. Let's go to delete. I forgot to name this one. Delete data, and I have to delete 119. Okay, let's send this. Joke with ID 119 is deleted. What if I send this request again? So it gave me a 404 error, not found. Like you can click on this error because this joke was already deleted. We can't delete a thing twice.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So I think all jokes are deleted. There was one more joke with ID 99, I think. Okay, so we deleted that. We'll do it again. We'll get an error 404. So now it's back to default. No, we got one more. Okay. So Rajindal Par bro is also giving. Why did the programmer quit his job? Because he didn't get a raise. Oh my god. He didn't get
That was
a
so
raise.
funny.
Okay, we'll get this. Get this. Okay, get. And can you share the ID with me? Sarish Bhaiya, can you share your ID with me? Like ID for the joke. Like I won't know the ID unless you explicitly tell me.
321. Right.
321, 321. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
get that. Go to get. ID is 321 and we'll send it. We got the joke successfully. So now what will I do? I'll change that. I'll update. Go to 321. Go to get. I'll get this data. Copy that. Update. So I'll change the name. Now I am the owner of this joke. I'll send this. Yeah, it's done. It's done. Now let us check what happened. Now I am the owner of this joke. So let's delete this. So it's kind of the last part of the session. Like then we'll discuss about the swags and stuff, and what are the things you can do post this event. What are the
Yeah.
post resources? How will you get that? And also, if someone wants to be a Postman student expert and adding that thing in your resume, like it is wonderful. So you would learn from Postman and get their certification. So before that, let's delete it. Last one, just last. Uh, ID is not 99, ID is 321. Let's change it 321. So yeah, it's deleted. So sorry, Sharish Bhaiya, for changing the ownership of your joke. Okay, so now it's done. Let's get back to our presentation. Okay, so now I'll recap the things. So in the starting, we got to know what is an API, and then we got to know how to use that API. We had four methods. Like we discussed five methods, but we use now four methods. That is get, put, that is the update, and post and delete. These four methods are like used widely. There are more than 10, 12 methods. So and then we came to know about addresses. Addresses, like we search google.com, and then we also in our uh, I'll show you again. Okay, okay.
You can
So
press escape.
in our current, so this was our address, http dot slash slash postmanstudent dot herokuapp.com. This is the address, and then I'll present it again. Okay, and then the path, like the post or the quotes or the book, we only use post now. So that is the path, and then parameters, we like give q is equal to postman when we searched on Google. You must have remembered that. And then also in the parameters, then in the authorization, we haven't discussed, like we haven't practically done, but Harshita told you you would use a
Yeah.
secret key, something secret, because now you can see I changed Sarish Bhaiya's joke, ownership of the joke, which must
You
not
won't
happen.
want this to happen with your passwords, right? Yeah.
So in that case, we could add like a security in the like time of update, because this event is for beginners like API 101. So this workspace is made in that way. We can update things without authentication, and we will have future events when we'll show you what how to make authentication using Postman, like API 102, 103, 104, 105. They'll come a long way. And then we gave body data. We gave body data, like you would, if you remember, in the jokes case, we sent an ID, we sent and an author, we sent the actual joke data, and then the source. So all this data was sent in the body. So now we'll like talk about how to become a student expert. So first of all, let me share a link with you for Postman Discord server. I'll comment it. Okay, this is the link for the Discord server. Okay, so you can join here, and also to be a part of the student expert, you could apply here. Okay, I'll share this link too. This is a wonderful program. Also, we both will help you like complete
Yeah.
this program. Like
Sure, sure.
if you have any issues, like you can directly ping us. Our social media
Yeah.
handles will be in the description. So all the
Yeah.
important links will be in the description. And then now comes the turn for amazing swags. So now Harshita will tell you the first way of getting swags, and I will tell you the second way of getting swags. There are two ways.
Yeah.
Okay. There, suppose you do the first way and like the second way, you do both the things. So you get the chance of getting swags is double. Literally. You can get like double the swags, and Postman swags are wonderful. You can get t-shirts and stickers. So Harshita, just
Yeah.
Tell them quickly how to get swags.
Uh, so I will be sharing my screen for this. Okay.
Okay, you can share now. You can share now.
Okay. So I hope my screen is visible.
No,
So
no. Just wait a second. Let me
Japsimran,
share it.
is it
Yeah, yeah.
visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is the first step towards getting cool swags from Postman. Actually, what you have to do is very simple. You have to create your own public workspace with a collection, and you can use API of any choice. Okay. Now, I will be explaining you. I will give you a short demo about how you can do this. If you don't get it from just going over the statement. So for this, I will head over to the postman.com website and I will explain you what all steps you have to follow. Okay. So yeah, let's go to postman.com. Okay. I hope the screen is visible and the Postman website is visible.
Harshita, 1 second. Before Harshita starts, how to like make a new workspace. Remember that the workspace must
Yeah,
be public
I'm going to
because we have
explain
to
that.
check that. Okay, and one more
Haha.
thing, that whosoever like makes a workspace, like there is a very high chance if you show efforts. So there is a very high chance you will definitely get swags. So
Yeah,
we have a
just put
good
all
number
your
of
effort into
swags.
it.
If you show, like you made a public workspace and you sent it, like you show efforts, you gave your time,
Haha.
you are definitely gonna get swags. Like if we get too much
Exactly.
requests, like, so postman like won't give like too much t-shirts because that is something like special for everyone. So in that case you'll get stickers, so you will get
Okay.
swags, and like definitely you'll get swags.
Yeah.
Harshita, you can like
So
take over.
so yeah, now my screen is visible, right? That postman.com website is visible. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. I'm gonna start the unlocking the key towards getting swags. Just give me a thumbs up and I will start. It is a short demo, nothing very typical. Okay, so first of all, yeah, okay. So first of all, when you go to postman.com, you will see on the left side, you will see this workspaces. Okay, just click this. Now you will see there's a plus sign and it is written new workspace. Just hit this thing, okay? Because we want to create a new workspace, obviously. So I'm gonna create it. I'll show you all the steps. Please be with me and you will get the clarity of the entire procedure. Now, here you can see you have an option to enter the name of your workspace. So enter any random name. Like it should be related to what workspace you have. Maybe you have it related to cars. Maybe you have related to food. So like now I am writing API 101 public workspace. Okay,
Like
this is my
I have a thing to
name.
add. Just add today's
Uh-huh.
date for everyone.
Okay, in the
Just add
name.
today's date. So
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That
yeah,
would be a
so
good
we
idea.
would
So
like
today is
easily.
18th,
It will be easy for us.
09, and I will write 20, sorry, 21. Okay, this is done. Now we can add a short summary just for our reference. Okay, so I will be writing this workspace, sorry, workspace as all maybe nice. I'm just writing something randomly. Okay. The main part, the main step that is very important for you to listen is that you have to make the visibility, this visibility as public. Why so? Because we want this public workspace to be accessible to the postman people. They will have access to this, and they will then, judge what kind of efforts you've put into your workspace and what all efforts you have done. So that, for that reason, you must make it public. Now you can see on the right side, bottom side, you have a button create workspace. So just hit it and your workspace will be created. Note this is a public workspace, it is visible to everyone. Okay, just a second, let it load. Okay, So our public workspace is ready. Now let's see what is the next step. What are they demanding? Okay. So they are asking us create your own public workspace with a collection. So that means the another step that I have to do is I have to add a collection, because without collection a workspace is of no use. So you go here on the same page, you go to the leftmost part, you see a plus sign. Okay, just click it and it will help you create a new collection. I've just clicked it and you can see there's an option. I can change the name of the collection or I can take it as it is. So I can say um, my cars collection. Why I'm naming it my cars collection? Because I'm going to use car API in this. Okay, you can use any name that is relatable to what you are using it. Okay, so yeah, I've got the name my cars collection and I just hit just a second. Yeah, see, in the collection I have got my cars collection. So woohoo, we have made one collection. Okay, now it is empty, we don't have anything inside, but yeah, we have achieved one step, that we have made a collection. Now be very careful with this step. Now on this collection, when you hover, you will see these three buttons, like these three dots. Just click them and you will see you can have an option of add request. You have to add request like get, post, put, and all that. Okay, I'm
This is the
just clicking
same
that
thing which
add
I
request.
did for each request.
Yeah,
Like the same thing.
exactly. So see,
We
I
have to
already
do
told you
the
that if
same
you
thing.
are and if you are attentive in the workshop session, then you will surely rock in this, contest kind of thing. So I will name it as get cards. Okay, because it is a get request, so I'm naming it get cards, and see it gets named as get card. See, it got updated. Okay, now the question arises: you have made a you have made a, like, inside the cars collection, you've made a get request, but still this is not working because we don't have the URL still specified. For that, you obviously need some API. Okay, for which you can that URL we can enter this URL in the get request. So for that, I recommend that you go to the Explore tab of Postman. I will open this in the new tab and I will show you. I will not skip any steps so that it becomes easy for you to complete the task. So see, I have opened the Explore tab of Postman, and there are lots and lots of open APIs for you. See here, it's APIs. I'm just clicking it. I hope I'm not moving very fast. You people are able to, work with me. Okay. So now in the public APIs, you can see it's written public APIs. Now you can choose any API of your choice, whatever interests you. Okay. Now I am going to choose this car configurator API. Let's go ahead with this. I just clicked it. What is the main aim behind doing this is that I want that URL, that endpoint to which my request will be sent. So let's see, we'll find a URL in this page. See, I told you there will be a URL. This is actually the URL, and I'm going to copy this and I'm going back to my public workspace. This, this I'm going back to my public workspace. I'm going to enter the URL. I will enter here. And now let the magic happen. I click the send button and let's see what happens. Okay, so we get a 200 OK response. If it's visible, we get a 200 OK response. My request was successfully sent. Now, what you have to do is create some more requests. I've made just get request. You can make put, post, patch request, or delete request, or you can even experiment with more such requests. Okay, the more you experiment, the better the workspace will sound. Okay, and we just want to see how much efforts you put into this, and you can choose API of any interest. Okay, of your interest. So yeah, this was up. Now the main point is which link do you have to share to us? You have, after you complete the entire procedure, you have some more requests out here. You click here and you get you add more requests out there. There might be get request, then might be put request and all that stuff. Your collection is all ready to be sent to us. Then what you have to do is you just have to click this. I hope this is visible. You have to go here,
Yeah, it is
API one.
visible.
It is the name of my public workspace. Just click here and see this. In this tab you get the URL that you're going to send to us. I hope it is pretty much visible. This is the URL. Don't send us the URL of the collection. We want the URL of the whole public workspace. Okay, so this URL is to be sent and we will inform you where to send it. Okay, you should be prepared with this within 24 hours. And And obviously, the coolest project will get some really cool swags from Postman. Now we head to the second method. So second method is what Japsimran
I'll
is gonna
take it.
cover.
Okay.
Yeah,
So also I want to add one more thing. You don't need to use any API collection from like Harshita told you how to search APIs from Postman. You could
yeah,
easily make a Google search. Like you could
yeah,
check out APIs on
exactly.
GitHub, any request. So you could use a Twitter API, Instagram API, Facebook API. So it's easy. So
Hmm.
now the second way is the easy way. So you have to
Huh.
share your learnings. Like use this hashtag postman student, postman API, postman API 101, and you have to share it on Twitter and LinkedIn, and you have to tell what you learnt from this event, like what you knew about APIs before this event, and what was the like key moments you like the most, and you want to see those moments in the next
Hmm.
events also. And don't forget to tag Hashita and me, because without that we both won't be able to
We
know,
won't be able
like,
to reach out. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So there are swags for this task and the task Hashita told you. And now
yeah.
let's come on the next part. So these are the things you could do. So you can check the learning center. You can use the
Hmm.
API network, like explore feature, just Harshita like has told you, and using her screen sharing, and the community forum, which is really
Yeah.
really amazing and active.
Hmm.
And next part is
So even
events.
if
So
you
now,
are attempting, Simran, I have a point. If you are attempting the Postman Student Expert test, or you are taking the training and you get stuck at some point, you can obviously head over to both of us. But if you find it more convenient, you can also head towards the community forum. There will be great people helping you. Okay, they will help you in each and every step wherever you're stuck. So don't hesitate. Go towards that community. Also, if you want to further your learning even after this event, and the concept of APIs has interested you, so what you can do is you can go to learning.postman.com and you can see all the resources there. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, I want to take a question from Nimish. So the
Huh?
workspace can
Okay.
be anything, doesn't matter,
Yeah,
unless you get that API. You get that. So if someone has made that API, and you can basically, this is for testing APIs using Postman. The the more creative you go, the better the chance of winning more better swags.
exactly.
But I'm telling you, if you make efforts, Postman sees your efforts and they give you things. And if anyone has any questions, you can share it with us.
So yes, we are
Also,
all we are ready to clear all your doubts. We are waiting for the
I'm sharing
questions.
the feedback form in the comment
Huh.
section.
It is really important for you to fill the feedback form. See, we just want to know your honest feedback, whether we can do something better, whether we were good in the session, we explained things better, or whether there was some, we could have done something better. Please share your honest feedback in that, so that we can improve our mistakes in the further sessions that we've planned for you.
This is very important, because this event is for you people
Exactly.
only. And if you tell
Yeah.
us what you want in those event, because we
Huh.
would be having like 4 5 events, like more events. And if you tell us what you want, it would be like, rather like we would be more than happy to like give you that
Exactly.
thing in the event. So if you
Exactly.
have any questions, just ask them. Also, do fill the form. It won't take more than a minute. It's just like
Yeah. It's a short.
writing, like
It is a short
it's a
form.
very short
See.
form.
Yeah, it's a short form.
I'll just open the form for you. It's a very short form. It finishes.
Are you sharing your screen, Japsimran?
Yes, I am sharing my screen.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So if you have any doubts, Just ask us on our email or our social media
I
handles
think
given in
people,
the
I think
description.
people have already run away to complete the tasks. There are no questions. What happened, people? Oh, Nimish is saying pretty informative.
Yeah,
Welcome,
yeah.
guys.
We'll save
Just
it
a
for like
request to save this live.
you'll
Oh,
get
sure,
this
sure.
recording. You'll get the recording. Don't worry. We'll
Huh,
take care of that.
exactly. If you skipped any
Yeah.
step in the workshop part or in theoretical part, if you skipped some point, you can always refer to this video again.
Yeah, we know that recording is must. We'll provide that.
Huh, exactly.
Okay, thanks for coming. So now we can end this.
Huh.
Harshita, do you want to
And
share something?
if you have any doubts or any questions unanswered, you can email us. Our email IDs are there displayed on the screen. Also, have we shared our LinkedIn handles with them,
Yeah, yeah, they are
Japsimran?
shared in the comments in the description.
In the description. So go ahead in the description and just check out our LinkedIn handles. We'll be more than happy to connect with you, clear any of your doubts or any of your suggestions. So it was amazing to have an event, and you people are such amazing people. It was an amazing audience overall. They put up such great jokes, made us laugh, and I hope even it has been an informative event for you as well.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
future
Neeru
events we
Mehra
will
is saying
try
very informative.
that
Thank you so
we
much,
have
Neeru.
offline events too.
Yeah,
We would try
we,
to
we
have
will we
offline
would
events.
really look forward to having offline events. Exactly. Okay, so all those people who have joined and who have been so active in the chat box, who have been with us throughout the session, a big hats off to you. Thank you so much for being there with us. Okay.
Okay, so let's
Thank you,
end
everyone.
this.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Also, I would like to thank like Manas for taking
Uh,
care of the like technical and the background stuff. Very very thank
Yes,
you,
thank you so
Manas.
much, Manas, for all that technical support. Without you, our event could not have been fulfilled.
Also like Rajinder Pal bro for
Huh.
like being collaborating with GDSC and Postman, and also Ali Mustafa sir for giving us this opportunity,
Amazing
and
opportunity.
Miss Anchal for helping us out like before the event for the preparation of the event.
Exactly. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. So let's end this.
Yeah, for sure.